Welcome again, everyone. Thank you for being here at the last of the webinars for the month of June. The next one there won't be a webinar next week because of the July 4th holiday. There won't be a webinar the week after because of the National Agents Conference here in Frisco. So the next one will be approximately the 20th. I have to check what that Friday is afterwards, but I think it's the 20th of July. Um, and then that'll be the next of these webinars. That doesn't mean you can't ask questions or request things during that time. It just means that we won't have an organized webinar until then. For those of you who will be at the conference, we'll bring back all the information that all of us gather and share it with the rest of you that couldn't be there. But if you still have time to get a ticket and get there, you won't regret it. Again, we've got a prestigious line of sponsors. We've got all kinds of guest speakers and other things that are happening. So take full advantage of it. If you're still thinking you're on the fence, make the decision to attend. You'll be much smarter because of it, and that will lead to more success. So this is our mission statement. Our job is to help you succeed in the building of your practice. Anything we can do that's not illegal or immoral, that is our goal here, is to help you do whatever it takes for you to get to whatever you define success to be in your business, and help you prepare in every which way to achieve that objective. All right. This is what we're going to talk about today. The first off, as we started out last week with our new format, I saw a piece on LinkedIn this week from Bill Comfort. If everyone isn't following Bill Comfort, they should be. Bill Comfort, I'm going to share with you in a second, his latest postings, but he's one of the great influencers in our business, him and a handful of others, and I highly recommend that you follow those people. And our own Claude here, that's on today's call, is an influencer as well. So you want to keep up with the kinds of things that they're posting out there, because it'll be stuff you won't get anywhere else. Bill posted a whole article around rate increases and what it really means. The reason I'm talking about that topic today is because there's a bunch of announcements within this slide deck that talk about upcoming rate increases on traditional long-term care. And as we've been discussing for many weeks now, these rate increases have turned into an opportunity for all of you. Whether it's Genworth, or whether it's, in this case it's John Hancock or Mutual of Omaha or any of the other tried and true traditional long-term care carriers that have been in the business usually at least 20 years, there's been and will continue to be a rash of rate increases on those traditional policies. There's absolutely no reason why you should think that's going to continue. And we're going to talk about what it means when people get rate increases and how to turn that into an opportunity for you. Then last month, we didn't get to hear from Claude, scheduling conflict on my part, but we didn't get to hear from Claude. You're going to hear from him. Again, one of the great options you have is a life insurance policy with an LTC rider. I want you to be able to take full advantage of that. And if you're not taking full advantage of your affiliation with Back Nine, you're just missing out on so much. I was on the phone with a couple other brokerage or MGA opportunities yesterday, and they would just kill to have this relationship with Back Nine. And I don't blame them, because again, the value that Claude delivers to us is something that everyone needs to take full advantage of. Some of you have, more of you should. I want to mention to you, there's been an announcement of a July 1st webinar. I believe that's Tuesday. And that's with Andy again. This is a dedicated lead program just for extended care. Leads are going to be provided at no upfront cost to you. There's a haircut involved in the testing of the program, but there's no upfront charges for the lead program. And Andy is going to just go over uh, some of the opportunities that are coming. The idea there, we'll get into it, is to set up a small test group, but then he expects to open it up from this fall and certainly by the first of the year, to about 100 plus people. So again, you want to be involved with that if you want what leads on extended care, specifically geared toward extended care. He'll explain it all to you on the 1st of July. Um, I'm going to go over the links. There's been an inordinate amount of carrier updates and news that you can use. I want to go through all that with you so you can, again, I'm depending on you to open up the email and actually look at them. I can do it for you, but it doesn't seem to stick when I do it. So I'm going to send them to you so you'll open them up and read through the latest news that you get. We get it from all kinds of sources. So you should be the smartest people out there if you're taking advantage of reading the links we send you. We have slides on some news you can use. Some of them are on Medicare changes. I've decided to include some of that stuff, especially when they're from some of the carriers we do business with. In the supplemental side, you need to be aware of some of the changes that are coming. I understand there's rate increases coming on the Medicare supplement products as well, or adjustments. So you need to be up to speed on that. There won't be a call tomorrow. There won't be a call on Saturday again during the summer until after Labor Day. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't express any issues you're having out there that you'd like to see us discuss on this Friday call. If you bring it up, we'll make it an issue like this, and we'll have a discussion about it, and people can share ideas. And then I will get you. I'm going to show you a link that you can permanently have, so you can watch the replay of these calls, these events. You'll have, instead of me having to wait until the slideshow renders, the video renders, and I can put it out there. It seems to be on a different time schedule every week. I'm going to give you the link so you can go straight to the source and watch it anytime you want, usually with about an hour after the call is over. All right, and then we'll entertain any questions. All right, here's what I know about. I wish I knew about more, and I'm sure there's more out there. First off, consistent as she can possibly be, 52 weeks out of 52, basically. She's always on this board. Lori Peary wrote 4 Manhattan Life policies last week for a total of $9,454, and she wrote an Allstate Aetna short-term product with, what is that, $2,006. So congratulations, Lori. I think there was somebody else, but I haven't seen the emails. And again, I have no way of seeing it unless you tell me about it until that policy actually places and pays. So I need your cooperation to share with me business you wrote. Now, Abe had a strong end of last week, but he hasn't submitted the business yet. So he told me to wait till next week, but I'm not, because I want you to see what kind of numbers are written. Abe wrote 2 policies totaling over $700,000 in in Nationwide Care Matters Together premium. One was for $540,000 and the other one was for $190,000, something like that. So again, I'll have it be official, but we won't have a call next week. So I wanted to make sure that you see it. But this is what's happening when you start getting credit. You penetrate the market and you get the word out there that you've got products that are very much in the flavor of the month at the moment, like this Care Matters Together is, and can help people with a hybrid policy with all kinds of guarantees, $700,000 under our commission schedules, which give you the highest level comp out there. You're talking about over $50,000 in commissions earned. So that's just from those 2 policies this week. Now, granted, they're extraordinary. $540,000 is not something that happens very often, but it turns out that these people are very affluent and they wanted a specific policy, and Care Matters Together was the perfect fit. So again, Abe did that. He's out on the golf course today celebrating his achievements from yesterday and the day before, but still, It just shows you what's possible. Okay, congratulations to Lori and Abe. Anybody else write anything? Why do I think there was other people that wrote business, but I haven't seen the email? Cindy or Laura, uh, Sharon or anybody else. I thought I saw business from somebody else, but I can't find the email on it. So, um,
I
anybody
mean,
want to
med
jump
subs
in and
don't
tell me
count,
of
right?
anything? Who's that?
Med subs don't count, right?
Yeah, everything counts. Anything supplemental counts, as well as anything extended care or long-term care. Okay.
All right, well, I did 2 med subs with Aetna.
Oh, good. With Aetna? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Scott. Glad to hear that. All right. So Scott Fishkin wrote 2 med subs. You know, what was the total premium,
So
Scott?
Mark, I'm not.
You know what? You disappeared on me. You went mute, Claude. Claude? Claude? You're
Yeah,
mute. You're
yeah. Can you hear
muted.
me now?
Now we can. Yes.
Can
Go
you hear
ahead.
me?
You said yes. We can hear you. Nope, we can't hear you
Okay.
again.
Yeah, you can hear me. Okay.
No, yeah, now I can.
So
Go ahead.
I don't do a lot of.
Personal
How about
production.
now? Okay. Yeah, I think there's a lag. Anyway, yeah, I don't write a lot of business myself, but I wrote a $10,000 annual premium Care Matters Together this week.
See, I'm telling you, this Care Matters Together is a hot product. I wrote one myself a month ago. They placed already. They paid. I mean, that's great stuff. $10,000, 10 for 10. You know, again, it's $100,000 policy. So, um, make sure you get involved with that. Again, if you haven't gotten all the information on it, One America will be at the conference, um, and some other opportunities. All the carriers for the extended care will be at the conference. Wellaby is a big sponsor, but so if you haven't learned about that, that would be a perfect example or a perfect opportunity to do so. They've got all kinds of incentives to help you reach out to your clients. Um, all the other supplemental carriers will be there too. I mean, it's there's a lot out there, and nobody that I know of, with maybe the exception of Back Nine, is as diverse as us in offering you all these different channels that you can write business in. So take full advantage of that. All right. Let's talk about this issue of under rate increases. I wanted to make sure I brought it to your attention because Bill makes an excellent article about how this is one of those times where the past is not prologue. That was a saying I saw at the end of a movie, um, 20 years ago. The past is prologue. I think it was a Kennedy movie, by Oliver Stone. Anyway, I remember seeing that line and thinking, well, isn't that so true? Well, this is a case when that's not the case. The past is not prologue. Rate increases are here to stay. Again, usually when a carrier has been in the business for at least 20 years or more, they start getting flooded with rate issues of having to reprice their product. But they have been making adjustments all along. And so what happened in the past is not indicative of what's going to happen going forward because those adjustments and rate stabilization ideas have been built into the future plans and designs of these programs. So um, we know a lot more than we used to. Let me see if I can share this with you now. Oops. You're not seeing where it says comfort long-term care, are you, Sky? Let me see if I can start sharing again.
Yeah, we are.
You are seeing it. Oh, okay, good. My apologies. I didn't think you were going to. Let me go back to share it then. Okay,
We
share.
were.
Yeah, no, right. I clicked out of it thinking you weren't seeing it. So let me get to it so you can see it. Here we go. Now you're seeing it again, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So thank you.
Yes.
All right. So this is Bill Comfort's agency. He has an office in Missouri and he has an office in North Carolina. I spoke to him yesterday on the phone as well, and he told me, he had posted this. I had read it, and I went back and looked at it even more, and I thought it was really valuable for you to see. You're going to get the link, so you can click on this and open this up, and I want you to be able to read through it. But again, the products and the lessons that they've learned have put them in a position to be much smarter about how rate increases work, why they're necessary, etc. Here are the three reasons why the older policies have needed rate increases. That's not necessarily applicable to future policies that have been sold in the last 10 years. They've had the advantage of the lessons learned from being in this market. And here are the three main drivers. Long-term care, in traditional long-term care insurance policies have a very, 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 very low lapse rate. That was way below what they expected to be. Most insurance companies depend on policies lapsing when they factor their margins into the introduction of a new product. Well, for the sake of all of you, for the advantage of all of you, one of the things that you have going for you is these policies don't lapse. So your renewals are pretty sound and pretty reliable and pretty dependable. And as a result, they can do things with the fact that they know that business is going to stay on the books, and that's certainly going to reward you. But it flies in the face of how most other insurance policies work. Term policies, for example, on life insurance, Claude can talk to this for sure, it hardly ever pay out the term death benefit. They lapse, or they cost you a huge amount to convert before you ever get to be able to collect the death benefit. Now, something you should all note, all those policies, including the term policies, have a value, have a resource. So many people just let their policies lapse. And we can get off on this on a side, as a side topic on another call, but long-term care policies don't. Not as a general rule, nowhere near like other insurance policies lapse. Auto insurance lapse, homeowner policies lapse. Long-term care doesn't, which means that income ratio, that income source for you is a pretty reliable one. Well, again, lapse ratios have not been anywhere near what the original actuaries thought they would be when they first started planning. Again, Mr. Thao, amongst his many achievements, is he is a certified long-term care actuary. He knows this side of the business. That's why I wanted him to be here for this conversation. We have been living through a period of historically low interest rates. So in the beginning, when they put the product out, they projected what they thought they were going to be able to earn off the premium money that they brought in the door. Well, it hasn't been anywhere near what they thought because of how long interest rates have been suppressed. And it looks like they're going to be going down again. And third, claim durations have actually been longer than they originally projected them to be. All of those things have led to financial pressure on the companies where they have got to adjust the rates, and they have the ability to do that. Now, they can't do that with hybrids. Hybrids' big appeal is that they come with guarantees. You have a contract with the insurance company, they're going to pay you X amount of dollars if you can meet the triggers for the claim, and you're going to get those dollars. It's between you and the insurance company. You're going to get those dollars if you meet that criteria. Well, again, you don't have the situation where you're going to have these issues of lapse policies and other factors factoring in long claims because they have caps, they have control, they define exactly what they're going to be able to pay you and what they're exposed for. There have been some very long claims in the traditional long-term care world, in particular, policies with uh, multi-million dollar claims. Let me put it that way. I'm sorry, my thinking is a little disjointed this morning. Genworth, I know, had a claim that approached close to $2 million. I think it was 1.7 million, something like that. Hancock, the original people in the business have all had claims that go into seven figures. Not as a common thing. It doesn't happen. You probably can count on both hands how many times it's happened, but it's there, and it throws the numbers off and the projections off when you have claims like that. That's why you've seen them redefine what kind of coverage they're going to give you going forward in these future policies, because it's a way for them to say, okay, we don't have unlimited coverage. We can't get burned for a couple $1 million in benefits, because again, if they do, they haven't factored that into the experience, and as a result, they're going to have to adjust the rates. None of that is true going further. The two big culprits when we were talking about rate increases in the past were unlimited coverage. If you had a policy to get unlimited coverage, you still can get unlimited coverage from NGL and through One America. You can still get an an unlimited, but it's much more expensive to get it now than it used to be. And the other thing was 5% compound inflation. If you got 5% compound inflation rider, your policy could continue to grow to where it doubled and then doubled again and tripled and and on and on and on. And as a result, the carriers were exposed to a lot more risk. So they've had to make changes going forward, and they have, which means that stuff shouldn't repeat itself as they go forward. Plus, there's all kinds of breakthroughs on the medical care side of things. Home care is certainly the way of choice right now and so much so that that's where almost all the investment is going for how people are going to get care. But you're hearing about it all the time, that there are breakthroughs in medicine that are changing how people are going to use their policies. I mean, you have this spray now that you can spray, and it helps slow down the growth of plaque on your brain as it relates to cognitive impairments and Alzheimer's, things along that line. Well, again, by the end of this century, you've heard me say end of this decade, as you heard me say before in this call, I expect Alzheimer's and other dementia-like illnesses to become a chronic disease, not a terminal disease. They're going to become something you can treat, like you do with diabetes. Diabetes right now is a chronic illness. You take the meds, you take the shots, or whatever it is you're taking, and it controls or slows down or regulates your blood sugar. You can live with that for a long time, a long time. So again, the older they get, the more likely they're going to need care, more claims are going to be, etc. But I expect diabetes, type 2 diabetes at least, to be it's chronic illness now, to be something that's curable by the end of this decade, by 2030. I expect Alzheimer's and dementias to become chronic. You're not going to maybe eliminate them completely, but you're going to be able to take something and keep it under control. So again, lots of breakthroughs coming ahead, change the experience for the carriers. All right. Claude, anything you want to mention about rate increases? You're such a student of this stuff. We can't hear you again. There you are.
Yeah, yes, I would. I could actually send you a presentation I've done on it.
We'll entertain doing that
I could
soon.
send you a presentation I've done on it if you're interested. But one of the things I tell people is in their area of expertise, people rely on the past to help educate them about the future, but they don't just blindly project the future, right? They don't say, hey, the stock market .com is going to continue forever. So, but when they're not in their field of expertise, instead of looking through the windshield, they look through the rearview mirror. And so I'm always telling people not to look through the rearview mirror.
You must have read this article, because that's the headline of the article, I think, is not look through the rearview mirror.
Mark, do you know?
What's that, Claude?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you know the most recent Mutual of Omaha policy that's had a rate increase?
Mutual of Omaha policy, the last one, when was it?
Anybody know the most recent
2 weeks ago? There was a whole
mutual
series of policies.
That's had a
Who did?
Yeah, 2011.
2011. So
2011 is
years.
the most recent Mutual of Omaha policy that's had a rate increase.
So it's on the old book of
policies
business.
issued the last 13 years have not had a rate increase. Do you know when the most recent? Do you know the most recent Thrivent policy issued to get a rate increase?
Don't know one. When
Right.
has it? They have rate increases.
2003.
What?
Okay. 2003.
2003.
2003.
Wow.
Okay. And
So I mean, this is all
NGL
ancient history
has never
stuff.
had a rate increase on an enforced policy. So these are, and if when you read the Broker World survey that's coming out soon, you'll see, I don't know if any other carriers have done it, but New York Life actually, to get a rate increase, they got a rate increase approved this past year and guaranteed that that business would never have another rate increase.
It's all it's all well
Okay.
for New York
So
Life
if you
because
do
the
have rate
policies are twice as
increases,
expensive anyway.
you
But
use our range of exposure tool. Anyway, if
for
you
whatever reason, you keep
you
cutting
can
out.
use
Go
our
ahead.
range of exposure tool can be helpful when you're discussing uh, you can use our range of exposure tool for rate increase to help on rate increases. You know, these options you're getting on these class action lawsuits are not attractive, and it really annoys me that that there's nobody representing the policyholder when the letters are written, because the letters are written and decided between the attorneys and Genworth. And Genworth, of course, has an interest in you
Right.
reducing your coverage, because as soon as you do, their risk reduces. They can take surplus and move it into take reserves, move it into surplus, and the attorneys want you to exercise one of those options to reduce risk, because they get paid more every time you reduce risk. The attorneys get paid more money. So nobody's representing the interest of the policyholder who would benefit from continuing full coverage.
Well,
Anyway,
Claude, that's with the exception of the people on this call, because they're representing the best interest of their policyholders. And that's an advantage they don't realize when they apply for the coverage through you, but they come to appreciate when they do. And this is where you're going to help counsel them. Again, there is no reason that anyone has to accept a rate increase. They might choose to. The vast majority choose to go ahead with the rate increase because they want to keep things the way they are. But if you really take a close look, especially if they've had the policy for 10, 15, 20 years or more, most of the time, accepting the rate increase isn't necessary. And you can save them money. And with the new products that are on the market, offer them a wider level of coverage than that was available to them when they originally applied, because you know the marketplace and can give them the best counsel on how to expand on that coverage that they have so as to take full advantage of what's going on in the markets today. That's why these extended care policies are so valuable. Again, every time I've run into a rate increase, I've said, we're going to freeze the benefits where they're at. We're going to add in this cash paying product from day one. We're gonna take out the inflation rider you have on your existing policy, freezing the benefits there, and use that difference, because the inflation rider is the most expensive thing. Once you take that out, their premium drops. They can take the difference that they were spending and put it toward one of these extended care policies, and now have a cash paying product on top of their long-term care policy, and uh, just get so much more in benefits as a result. So you are in a position to help these people. You are in a position to be their advocate like no one else, and that leads to all kinds of additional opportunities for why they want to do business with you. So thank you, Claude. We're going to move to Claude now. I'm going to send this to you. I expect you to open it and read it so you can because the rate increases are coming. And you're going to set yourself apart in the marketplace when you're up to speed on exactly why they're happening and how you can help them reduce their premium and get more bang for their dollar by using a formula of a combination of policies. All right. I'm coming out of this and I'm going to stop sharing and go back to the slides. Okay. Go back to the slides. Hello, Cindy. Let's see. Share this window. All right. 13, bing, bing, bing. Oh, that's my mic share. Where's the policy? Here, let's see if we can find it. Here we go. There we go. Sean, Claude, can you see your
Okay.
slides? Yeah. I'll click through them for you. I think it's going to be easier to do that. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I can.
You want me
Okay.
to give? Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one just has my contact information, as you can see. All right, so you can skip down to the next one. So this is now showing you some data that's going to be in the Broker World survey, you know, that I write every year. It's coming out in the July issue. And this shows you that 2022, because we have 2000, I had 2023 on standalone, but I didn't have 2023 on all the linked benefit products. So some of this data comes from Limmer, as you can see. So this shows you the first column is 2022 planned recurring premium, then the number of recurring premium policies, then the single premium distribution, and then of premium and the distribution on policies. And what you can see is that the chronic riders and the long-term care sections of 7702 riders, they account for over 90% of the recurring premium, and 89.5%, essentially 90% of the policies. So that's where most of that is being sold, is being with those riders. If you flip to the next screen, next slide. So this shows you, as you know, with quote and apply, you can see traditional long-term care insurance side by side with linked benefit and life with a chronic illness rider. So look at the linked benefit and look at the chronic illness rider. At age 85, they have almost identical buckets, the blue bar for long-term care, but the linked benefit is $120,000 death benefit, and the life with the chronic rider obviously has a death benefit that's equal to the long-term care benefit. Now look at the premiums, right? For less than $500 more, you can add all that much death benefit. What do you think is going to be what this client wants to choose, right? She's got a much better deal with the life insurance with the chronic rider based on, how the products are priced in the marketplace today. All right, want to go to the next slide? And this shows you carriers that we have in our system for the life insurance with the chronic illness or Section 7202 rider. And what you'll see here is, they're top companies. You'll also see the companies listed more than once because they have several products. They might have a protection IUL, they might have an accumulation IUL, and such like that. So
for those that aren't aware, the
see,
7202
lots of
paragraph
top
is what,
carriers in our system. Want
Yeah,
to go to the next slide?
yeah, the 7202 though is what makes you eligible for tax deductions if their state approves the a tax deduction for getting a long-term care policy. So that's the significance of 7202. And all this is available to you through Back Nine. They'll help you coach and take full advantage of having their knowledge behind you when you're out there with your clients. Go ahead. We change it? Yeah.
So we've covered the tremendous opportunity with the life insurance with the accelerated death benefit riders. So now let's focus on the right side of that chart. And you'll see that on the single premium policies, they're predominantly linked benefit products like MoneyGuard and Care Matters 2 and State Life Asset Care. So let's go to the next slide. So I did a comparison of Nationwide Care Matters 2 to Lincoln Financial. The carriers are on the linked benefit side, they're playing a game of leapfrog where they're getting more and more aggressive. So here at age 50, you can see single male 50, a single female age 50, and then a married male age 50. Married female age 50 is a single pay in most jurisdictions, not California, New York. $6,000 a month with 3% compounding and a 6-year benefit period. And you can see that Lincoln Financials at age 50, it saves about 1%. Okay, so not a lot of reason to sell Lincoln Financial instead of Nationwide Care Matters 2. But let's move to the next slide. This is age 55 and age 60. And look on the right, you're looking at 10% or more savings using Lincoln Financial. That's because they priced their product most recently and they wanted to have the lowest rate. They priced it in January. So I only did ages 55 and 60, but it looks pretty level here, but actually I think the increases that the advantages are better later on. I had the first case I did this on where I did the comparison and discovered this tremendous advantage for Lincoln Financial. I had a 23% savings by going with Lincoln Financial instead of going with Nationwide. So this is what it looks like on a single premium. If you go to the next slide, we'll look at 10-year pay. So on the 10-year pay at age 50, it's actually a little bit less expensive with Nationwide. Again, at age 50, not a particular reason to worry and think about Lincoln Financial. You got Nationwide. Let's look at 55 and 60. Next slide. Okay, you can see that the savings are increasing with age, right? So at age 55, depending on your situation, 5.6 to 8%. Whoops, want to go back?
Yep.
Yeah, keep going back. You got ahead. One more. I think it's up. There you go. You can see 5.6 to 8%, depending on marital status and gender at age 55, but it's 9.7 to 12.4% at age 60,
muted on us
and
again.
it just increases thereafter. So, you got to be looking. You got to be looking at mutual at MoneyGuard in this market. Okay, so the last segment is the standalone traditional long-term care insurance, not a huge part of.
Isn't the MoneyGuard program?
You want me to call in? I don't know why you can't hear me.
No, we can hear you now. But isn't the MoneyGuard program also unique in that it gives you the option at claim time?
Okay.
It gives you the option at claim time to take benefits either in cash and or reimbursement.
So
I don't know what's going on there. You keep fading out every other word.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a little confusing. It's a little confusing because it works differently on the variable version than on the fixed version. I'm showing you the fixed version here. On the fixed version, you can change from month to month, and either you can take 50% of the benefit as a cash benefit and then, let the rest of it sit for later use, or you can use up to 100% on a reimbursement.
So you get the best of both worlds, depending on your needs at the time.
Yeah. So anyway, so on the traditional side, right. So here I did a California case, and that's an extreme situation. But look at here in California and compare Mutual of Omaha to National Guardian to Thrivent, right? In California, there's huge advantages in placing business with National Guardian or Thrivent rather than in Mutual of Omaha. In other states, they're all generally pretty close together, depending upon the circumstances. For couples, NGL will have the lowest rate and the most and the great shared care, but not as attractive home care provisions. Anyway, we've got the NGL, we've got the Thrivent. This slide just shows you, same thing, but it comments, that NGL is particularly great for couples, especially if they're close in age. It's got a third pool shared care. Clients love that. If you've got two female couple, unbelievably competitive there. Great with executive carve out with the tax advantages, and with their unisex pricing. If you're in the work site and you're using the unisex pricing, you can add the spouse. If the spouse is the same age or younger, you can add the spouse for only 25% more. Thrivent has a 20% couples discount. Whoops, go back a minute.
Yeah.
Thrivent has a 20% couples discount, even if you don't get the same coverage. So you can get a small amount on that second spouse and save them money. Its 0-day home care EP only costs 7% compared to 15% for Mutual and 25% for NGL. Its return of premium is on death is low priced and is unisex, so it looks really good for men. It only returns premium if you die 10 years or later. but I don't see that's a problem. But you can see here, at age 50, Mutual of Omaha charges 39.5% for males, 26.2% for females. Thrivent charges 23% for each gender. Okay, so yeah, question?
Somebody
Is
have
there
a
a question?
question?
I guess not. Okay,
Oh, it was me.
so let's go to the next slide, So annuities are really hot today because interest rates have gone up. And you've got most of you have an aging population of clients. Many of them may have annuities that you don't even know about. So why not do a free annuity review for them where we can probably either get them an increased income and or add a long-term care benefit to their annuity. So if you go to the next slide, you'll see I can send you a formatted email like this. It fits very well on if they look at it on their iPhone, it formats very nicely like that. You can change the picture, you can change whatever you want. But as you can see, would you like a complimentary annuity review? And it explains why people might like to do that. So why not have them send in complete the attached form that you send them, and you send it to us. We do an annuity review, and we may be able to do some nice business for you. Of course, we've got other opportunities, other life insurance opportunities, such as gifting. I'm surprised you guys don't do more gifting cases. Kaizen, which we've talked about, disability income, and of course, some of the services we do in terms of pre-qualification, range of exposure, strategizen, et cetera, like that. So
Abe shared with me that he sold a Kaizen because of monies he was able to save the client. And as a result, they wanted to give some money away to their grandchildren or whatever. So they put together a Kaizen policy through you. So again, there's all kinds of opportunities, but you got to ask.
So that case, that case has not closed yet with Abe because unfortunately the gentleman is settling his wife's estate right now, but he continues to tell Abe he wants to do that. He has, I think it's 30. His sons are either 31 and 33 or 30 and 33. One's in California and one's in Michigan, and he has expressed the intent of putting $100,000 a year into each of those people's sons' policies for 5 years, which would make those, the way Kaizen works, those would be about $170,000 to $175,000 10-pay life insurance sales. Two of them, 175,000 or 170,000 to 270,000 10-year pay policies. And it took, I was on the phone with him and his client for 1 hour. At the end of the hour, guy says, "You made a sale."
Yeah. So I hope that's what everybody's hearing. All right. Because if you're like me,
Mark, I think you're muted. Okay.
If you get dizzy by all these percentages and all these numbers and all this other thing, but having a secret weapon like Claude to be able to go to and consult and be able to bring down the numbers to show them real and genuine savings because you choose one carrier over another is invaluable. It's just, again, that your competition doesn't have these resources. Take full advantage. It doesn't make any sense to have them and not use them. But there isn't anybody that sits through a presentation with Claude who doesn't come away impressed because of the concept. And they might not get into the numbers themselves, but they see that you have the resources to bring this kind of thinking to them that they're just not going to get anywhere else. So take full advantage and build that relationship with Back Nine and with Claude, because it goes a long way in helping you address issues like nobody else can. What's this, Claude? Is this the same slide from before? Yeah, this is a repeat of what you already talked about.
Oh, those are just those are just busier copies of the slides. We're done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
We're
All
done.
right.
That's it. That's all I
If
wanted
you're
to
not
cover
using
today.
Claude's
If
link
anybody
to
has
set up
any
a time,
questions,
anybody have any questions for Claude?
anybody have?
Unmute yourself and go right ahead. If not, go to Claude's signature and click on his link to set an appointment. and he can walk you through all the different things that Back Nine can do for you. Again, they give you free access to Stratecision. They have a pre-qualification link that goes right to the carriers who will tell you if they'll look at the health issues with your client in advance. They've got a tool that will show you exactly how the benefits will work long term, and what you probably will need for your long-term care. I mean, it's all cutting edge stuff. And so to not use it is opportunity missed, as I said. Anybody else have any questions for Claude as we go further? No? All right, Claude, thank you. We missed your call from last month. We need to see you more often, and we will do
Okay,
that.
so long.
Going on. Thanks. All right. All right, I'm going to try to hurry through the rest of this. We got about 15 more minutes here.
Take care.
I want you to be aware of just what's happening, and let me go back to the slides. Stop sharing. All right. That's the screen. All right, there you go, Scott. Let me go back to stop sharing. All right. And then let's go to where share is. And that's his slides. Sorry about that, guys. You would think after all this time we would have it down, but I don't see it. That's the other thing. All right, let's go back. So we talked about the rate increases. You heard about Claude and what he's got working for you at Back Nine. Again, that's a strategic partner that if you're not taking advantage of, you're missing opportunity. Develop that relationship with Claude and take full advantage of things that you can do. You will get this link. This will be the link to the LinkedIn page for Bill Comfort. I want to make sure you're seeing that. And let me go back here. And this is the next thing I need you to know about. On the first, this is the webinar that Andy's going to run with this new lead program. When I got, and when I had to go out on medical leave, Andy took the reins here and made it happen with putting together this whole program with a lead vendor that will hopefully make a huge difference in supplying you with a steady flow of leads. But again, it's not just about selling the leads. You've got to take the leads that they provide you and turn that into additional opportunities. They'll show you exactly how. You certainly got to bundle products to make it worth your while, and bundling is absolutely the future of our business. Attend this webinar, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. via the Teams meeting links that you have that we're using right now. You'll have those links. Everything's on the website. Take full advantage of it. I don't have all the details because of being absent from the daily activities, but I'm saying to you, I know that Andy's put a lot of effort into this, and you need to take full advantage of the fact that he's making the resource available to you at no cost out of pocket. So to take that, you'll have this is all on extended care. All right. Here's the link for the replay. Now, this is something I want you to all take note of, and I will put it in the email with the attachments. I get calls now every week asking me for a copy of this webinar. These webinars get rendered early in the afternoon, and then they get posted on our YouTube channel. I found that they're getting there quicker than they're getting back to me. So take full advantage of that by using this link. I will put it, as I said, in the email. Click on the link and you'll go to the YouTube channel. You will find there every video, every meeting conference that we've ever had that you can go back and watch from the past. You will also find the most current videos and the other videos that are put out there by the other channel heads who, the leaders of those different channels, so you can focus on any product that you want. The woman inside the office that handles all of this is named Priscilla. You can reach her because she's with the conference by going to sales@northamerican.com. This is their email address, northamericaninsurance.com. It's below here on the line. Anyway, you can reach her. You can ask her anything you want. She's in charge of all things to do with what's posting on these recordings of all these different videos. So keep this on handy for yourself so you can go there anytime you want, 24/7, and watch anything that the company has put out via video itself. There's Claude and his contact information. And then let me get quickly through these. These are the same slides I had loaded in, but I took his slideshow. So let me click you through them quickly. Okay. So as you know, we are in the practice of putting out all these attachments. Frankly, they're growing. I think there's 15 or 20 of this week. You'll see. You need to take a look at them. They always are going to have all the different different carriers, newsletters, and other material. You want to be able to use all that. Let me start sharing this. Are you seeing the slide again, Scott? It says Moo and Golden Care and Manhattan Life, and
Yeah.
you're seeing it. Great. Glad to hear that. All right. So let me go to that slide. All right. And let me stop sharing the slide we're sharing and show you this. Are you seeing the email now, Scott? No.
No, nothing now.
No. Okay. So let me go to this slide so you can see it. Hold on. Share again. And where is the slide for with all the attachments? I want you to be able to see it. Friday, all specialist call. Let's see. Can you see it now? You see the slide with the attachments? Let's say attachments from today's webinar.
Blank screen. That's a
No?
blank screen.
It's a white screen. Thank you. I'm sorry for Teams limitations this ways, guys, but it's the only thing it seems that it can work. You have to share these things separately. Okay. Now I'm seeing it. Are you seeing it?
No. Seeing you again.
You're seeing me again. Okay. Well, let's see if we can't get this to come up. Otherwise, I'm just going to walk you through it.
Now we got it.
Yeah, good. All right. So here you can see all the attachments that you're going to be getting after this call. This is an announcement on MedSub. Everything I'm hearing, again, I am not a MedSub expert like I am a long-term care expert. But I know so many of you sell it, so I thought I'd start including some of this. Basically, what they're talking about, though, is that they're going to be raising rates on Medicare supplements as a way to combat these changes that have been made with Medicare Advantage, and then the cost of some of these other services. They're going to see a constant raise starting this summer in the Medicare rates. There's an article that's talk about all that. If you're not already seeing this, this is One America. Again, every Tuesday they run a webinar on their products and the programs. They've all of a sudden had a surge in business the last couple months. The products and some of their unique features are definitely more attractive. If you're not attending these, I know some of you really like to attend webinars. Make sure this is on your regular schedule of webinars to attend. Here is Medicare. Mutual of Omaha's Express for this week. They put it out every week. There's always a section on long-term care. And here it says understanding benefits of LTCI versus Medicare and Medicaid. This too could make a mailer. So you have that one from Claude. This could be another thing that you're sending out to your clients and understanding the difference, because people confuse themselves with thinking that they have some sort of long-term care because they have Medicare, and they don't. Right. So you want to keep up with that, but it covers the entire line of Mutual of Omaha products. So take full advantage of that. You have to read these things, though. Here's something I want you to be aware of. John Hancock is coming out with a webinar, like I said, on their VUL product that has right here a long-term care benefit built into the product. And you want to be familiar with John Hancock has been by far the most popular choice for getting a life policy with an LTC rider. So look at this. You'll be much more familiar with it. Again, Claude handles the John Hancock contract. That'll help you. This is the link for Bill Comfort's site that you'll see there. This is what I was talking to you about. This is John Hancock's announcement of a rate increase in Alabama, Illinois, Maryland, Missouri, and South Carolina. Here you have a chance to get ahead of that. Talk to your clients, tell them they should expect an announcement, but tell them, hey, call me. Let's not make any rash decisions. Let's talk out the options and let's figure out the best way to resolve that. And again, just by extracting the inflation rider that might have been in that original policy, you'll save enough premium that you'll be able to get them additional products and not have them spend any more premium to do so. Very powerful way to help more people address this problem. Here's a couple more, as you can see. This is right here. This is Aegis's newsletter. If you're not seeing Aegis's newsletter, this is one of the best newsletters in the long-term care space. Aegis is a group long-term care worksite company. You can always partner with them, but they always have great articles that you can share with your clients. When caregiving becomes complex, navigating the challenges of dementia, all these different articles you're seeing, keeping your parents healthy, advanced nursing. There's lots of good stuff in here that you can be using with your clients to stay in front of them. And you want to stay in front of them, especially with all the constant changes that are happening. They need to know they have an authority they can go to, and you're it. Here's the talk about the Medicare supplement rate increases that Monica shared with us. Thank you, Monica, for sharing that. I'm sharing it with you here. And here is the webinar that you saw the ad on earlier. And finally, three more things here. Here is, this is that, I'm sorry, that's the Bill Comfort link. And then this is something Lori shared with us to share with all of you. This is CMS proposes home health payment cut. They're going to pay less money to the home health care agencies. So again, home health care is getting all the attention. So what's the government saying? We're going to cut back on some of the things that open us up to the kind of debt that we have to absorb in our budgets because of the cost of long-term care within our Medicaid budget. This is a huge problem going forward. You need to make sure you bring it to the attention of your clients. And again, they're going to find creative ways to cut down on costs because they simply can't afford them. Every state must balance their budget. They don't have the freedom of the federal government to print money. So they have to balance their budget. I've shared this with you before. The state of New York paid $440 million of benefits in excess of the money they had in Medicaid. That means they had to find someplace else to make it up. It's becoming harder and harder to get done. That's why you're going to see more incentives to move your long-term care risk to the private sector, meaning the insurance companies, as opposed to the Medicaid budgets, because they're the most expensive thing within every state's budget. And if you don't have a long-term care policy, you're going to be at the mercy of what they're going to give you through Medicaid. And that's not going to be acceptable to most people, especially anyone with resources. And finally, this just came out literally minutes before this call began. There's a brand new product in the Manhattan Life portfolio starting next week. It's a vision and health product, and you can read all about it, get training on it. Dental, vision, and hearing product is what I should have said. If you're not getting this newsletter, again, it comes out once a week. I share it with you every Monday. Make sure you check this stuff out. Okay. You'll get it all. Doesn't do any good if you don't open it and you don't share it. These were just some of the carriers that were there. Let's finally talk about the conference again. There's still the, the conference will be sold out by the end of this weekend. There's not going to be any more tickets to be able to be sold after they were right on the brink of being sold out yesterday. So I'm sure that it's going to be sold out. If you're still thinking about coming, you got to act fast. If you're not going to our Facebook group, you'll find all kinds of things on the Facebook group that'll be valuable to you. One of the things that's on there now on the NAS Facebook group is the agenda for the conference and the breakdown of all the different meals and guest speakers and everything else. I'm a guest speaker. There's several others that are speaking. You'll want to take a look at that agenda if you're planning to attend, or if you're still on the fence and thinking, well, is it worth my while? Take a look at the agenda and you can decide for yourself. All right. So that's again information you can use. There are 3 articles in that email that you're going to get. One is that monthly Aegis newsletter, got to open up. The other one is about the CMS proposing cuts in what they're going to pay for home care, and then the supplemental rate increases this summer that are coming. So thank you, Monica and Lori, for sharing with us. All right, let us go to here. This is where, in lieu of not having Saturday's calls, I'm encouraging any one of you to bring up any topics or challenges you're running into. What's your challenge that you ran into last week? As I'm sharing, I'm finding there's more and more receptivity from the people interested in putting a solution in place to getting the extended care products and or some of these alternative solutions, and that the marketplace simply doesn't know about them. You're a pioneer, you're a leader in that space now, just simply because nobody else is. And your knowledge of these different products gives you advantages that they can't get elsewhere. So get the word out. That's one thing I can tell you I observed this last week. Anybody have any observations from the field they want to share? Anyone? No one? We put you all to sleep. Okay. Well, again, you'll have a copy of the access to the recording on those links I shared with you. Make sure you take advantage of it if you want to go back. Finally, last week I told you that ever since I got my medical diagnosis, I've come face to face with my own mortality, as every happens to everybody in this life. So again, there's no use to complain about that. It's when it happens, and you deal with it. But it does make me focus on things that I think are the really important lessons in life. And I wanted to take these next few weeks and probably into the fall to share with you what I find to be some of the lessons of life you don't really focus on until you find yourself getting older and in a position where, as is, last time I checked, life is a terminal illness, and that is nobody is getting out of this alive. So you might as well learn from and take advantage of the lessons life has taught you. And this is one of those that I wanted to focus on for this week. Human beings are a remarkable species. I've learned multiple times across my life that you can redesign your life, and you can make choices that will help you focus on the things that will allow you to deal with the circumstances in your life. And you have to find that balance between what you used to be and what you want to be. I am convinced that every one of us on this call can manifest into their life just about anything that they want. And they do that by focusing on and fixating on those things that you want to make happen better in your life. You get it, what you think about most. And when you have experiences, you learn from them. You learn more from your setbacks than you do your achievements. But when you learn from them, you can then use that to apply to help increase and improve your life, your practice, your business, your and everything, every other aspect that lets you run or lead a better life. So take full advantage of the fact that you're getting these life lessons all the time and put them to work. There's so many people who have stayed, who've got to who quit right before they realize the success they've made from all that investment they put into their business and into their career, all because they got discouraged and they didn't think they could take it on. But the truth is, if they had kept going, they would have succeeded, and that's true. It's very true to, but it's not absolute. Many, many times I've stayed too long at the dance, too long at the punch bowl. And I want to highly recommend that you keep that in mind as well. You've got to be able to take a look at your business, at your practice from the outside in and be honest with yourself. Is there real reason to expect that my results are going to change if I keep doing things the same way? I've gotten so caught up in the mission, and I've gone along with all the uh, the different hyperboles you hear about, um, burn your bridges and keep keep pushing forward and never give up and all the other things that come with that. When the truth is, the smarter thing to do would have been to reassess, reevaluate, reapply the skill sets you have in a smarter way so you can um, be the success that you want to have in building a practice and exceed those goals even, which you can do. It's like when lightning strikes when it happens, but you can do it by being in control of the things you can control and not letting yourself get caught up in the things you can't. Right? Don't drink your own Kool-Aid. Know when to hold them and know when to fold. There's and if I look back on some of the regrets I've had, it's always been I stayed too long. I could have seen what was coming. I knew it was coming, but I didn't want to give up. So I didn't, and I stayed too long. Don't do that. Be smart enough with yourself, honest enough with yourself to know when there is a time to fold them. There is a time to move on. And once you do, move on quickly because too many times you end up wasting so many more years trying to make something become a reality that just isn't destined to succeed. And you've got to adjust so that you don't pay the price. The faster you can get away from the problems that your past mistakes have cost, the more successful you will be and the happier you will be for making that adjustment. Not everything succeeds. Most new businesses don't succeed. This is a successful business model when you're doing it right. But you've got to be smart enough with yourself to say, okay, what do I need to do to achieve the levels I want and get on with it? Don't get caught up trying to correct the mistakes of the past. That's the past. Let it go. Move on. Make the adjustments and find the success you're looking for. It's there. I guarantee it's there, but you gotta be honest enough with yourself. So that's one of the lessons I wanted to make sure I shared with you that I took from life. Because when I look back, I say, boy, I should have done this so much faster or quicker, and I would have been that much further down the road had I done that. So learn from my mistakes and make that part of yours. Okay. All right. No call tomorrow, as we talked about. Anybody have any questions about anything regarding all these things that are on the horizon? Opportunities abound. What do you want to know about or you want to talk about? You can always send me an email offline if you want. But I want to use this time at the end of our Friday calls to make sure that we discuss your issues. and send them to me during the week, and I'll make it an issue that we talk about on the next Friday call. So this is your call. I want you to get value from it. If you're not going to get value from it, we're going to try something different. As I said, we're not going to cling to something that's not working. So let me know what you're thinking. Anybody have anything they want to share or any question they want to ask? Going once, going twice. All right, everyone. Go create a great day. Thank you for being here. I hope this have a great 4th of July. I'll send out newsletters during this time when we're not having calls, and I hope to see many of you at the conference. Until then, create a great day.